I know you're probably thinking, Tyler, do us some live streams for tarot. I couldn't even think about mustering up the energy for a tarot card read. Videos like this are very little energy, so I know I'll be back. You know, I've literally done tarot for every day for almost 7 years. Is it okay if I take a small little break? Because OnlyFans, I'm gonna make up for y'all. Like, I'm gonna do a double read, a double all sign day or something like that. Hey, y'all. So today's been a hell of a day. Do you know that the HOA sent me a? They said my grass color was off. It said that the grass is stressed, and I need to fix it because there's a like little area where my grass has yellowed. I'm like, here I am with the flu. I got the HOA basically just calling me all kinds of bitches. They call me bitches, but they might as well be. I just felt like they just kind of like they insulted my mama at this point. They got my fucking nerves. I don't usually get letters by them, but anytime I see that they sent me something, I'm like, oh god. I think the last letter I got was them was about a year ago, and it was over a one singular weed sticking out of the ground. So, and I finally got to talk to my neighbor, and she helped me. I talked to her. I said, "How do you get your grass so green?" Because I saw her outside, and she said, "Oh," she showed me what she uses and how to sprinkle the, how to set the sprinkler to, all this. And I'm thinking to myself, I was thinking at the time, right? Let me tell you how big of a dork I am, right? So keep in mind, I had just did some trimming in my front yard, so I was all sweaty and stuff, right? And I need to take a shower still. I shouldn't even be laying in my bed like this, right? And keep in mind, I'm extra sweaty because I'm sick. So I had to sit. I'm out there with the flu or whatever this is, trying to do the that grass work and all this and trimming. I'm like, I felt horrible. It's been a hell of a day, right? And I just felt like the biggest. I don't know what happens if you're overseas on the holiday. I don't know. Actually, there was one time. In fact, the one time they got on to me for a weed sticking out of the concrete, that was actually while I was on a road trip. They are petty. They sure are. Yeah, I'm live now. I'm sick as a dog. Sick as a dog. And I have, I don't get sick on that. I don't get sick like that. Like, what if y'all know me to take time off for being sick on this channel? Never. It don't happen. So just know when I say I'm sick, I mean it. It may not seem like the sickest person, but if you felt the body aches I felt and the diarrhea and all that stuff, you would know like he ain't fucking around. But I had like I'm so mad at the HOA because I'm like everything was fine. I just went out to check my mail and I saw they had sent me something and I was having a nice day before that. And they sent me that and it kind of ruined my day. So I got out there and kind of spruced up the yard a little bit, but it wasn't about the yard they were sending me. It says, literally, it says front lawn appears stressed. What they mean by that is the yellow patches that I had been trying to work on that would not go green for nothing. And they finally binged me over it. What do you call it? Pinged me on it. I can't drink Gatorade, unfortunately, Wayne, because I have Gatorade. I have some. It'll break my fast. But I have water, though. Oh, oh. Sorry, I'm back. Ugh. Look at the freckles. I didn't realize how bad my freckles was till I started like seeing myself on camera. I'm like, oh my god, 'cause I don't see them like looking in the mirror. And I've had people tell me in person. They tell I didn't know you had freckles. They say that every time. I guess because I don't like having freckles. But then they'll see me in person. They'll go, Todd, I didn't know you had freckles. I sure do. Hey, how y'all doing? And what I don't get is how freckles are considered a beauty mark when I always found them to be kind of What happened when you smoked the weed? What happened afterwards? I kind of panicked and I went and laid in the fetal position in the floor. I flipped out. Okay, when I at the point where I cut off the video when I was doing the live stream of me being high, right? I freaked out. That's why I got offline, right? And I was like, oh, I said, what am I gonna do? So my brain just thought, okay, go lay on the floor in the fetal position and just watch. I turned the theater on, and I watched a movie, and that kind of helped calm me down, right? And because how do y'all pot smokers do that by the day? That shit had me feeling like I was in World War III. But I will say, once it calmed down, I started to enjoy the high. Like once I got into the movie and I started to enjoy the high, it was like I felt like I was gonna levitate. I thought I was gonna levitate. It almost feels like you're about to just levitate off the ground. I'm like, oh my god, like, ugh.
Tyler, here is your reminder. Take out trash.
Okay.
Tyler, here is your reminder. Take out trash.
Yeah, like weed is no joke. You think it's just a silly plant? It's more to it than that. That shit ain't no joke. Had me going crazier than a shithouse rat. See, I ain't smoked no more of it. I'm tempted to take a puff off of it now, but I'm like, I'm sick as a dog. I can't. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. But I've been tempted to just to take off the edge of feeling sick. This is a hybrid. This is an indica and sativa hybrid. So, but no, I ain't taking no. I'm not taking a puff of this. Not when I'm feeling the way I feel. But yeah. But I've been sick as a dog. I'll save it and I'm gonna do a part two to Tyler getting high on live. People say that Tyler, that's okay. If you go and look at the comments, if you go and look at there's like almost 900 comments on that video alone, right? People like one common comment they keep saying is, Tyler, that's my favorite video you've ever did. This is the one I enjoyed the most. Favorite video you ever did. Favorite video you've ever did. Oh, I love this video, Tyler. Oh, do it again. So, as long as y'all like to watch me torture myself, I'll do it. As long as y'all like watching me torture myself, I will do it. Just for your entertainment. Just like Adam Lambert says, I'm here for your entertainment. So, but you see, I'm just letting you know I ain't smoked nothing off of it no more. Like once I was done, I was done. I was like, hell no. Yeah, it's still up. It's on Tyler's Tarot. Yeah, it's on Tyler's Tarot. Not on this channel. It's on Tyler's Tarot. But I was laying there in the floor, and all I remember is, I remember it, but the key highlight moments was me laying in the floor, like thinking, should I call the ambulance? And I kept talking myself out of not calling the ambulance. I had to go, Tyler, if you call the ambulance, they're going to fucking think you're a joke calling and saying I got too high and I think I'm dying. And what made me want to call the ambulance was, my heart started beating fast. You know how marijuana makes your heart beat fast? For you ones that smoke it, for you ones that smoke it, like, it's going to make your heart beat fast. Don't freak out, right? But when it started doing that, and at that point I had turned off the camera, off the live stream, right? I said, I'm about to die. I said, okay, I was like I was weighing the pros and cons. I'm like, well, if I call them, they're gonna think I'm crazy because it's a weed high that I'm freaking out about. But then I was like, the con would be, then I was like, well, if I don't call them and I end up dead, then I could have saved myself if I had got over the fear of calling them. So I was sitting there trying to weigh the pros and the cons. So yeah, I was sitting there and after a while, I was like, I can do this. And then I started to just enjoy the high. I would say the paranoia only lasted like 5-10 minutes. So the paranoia only lasted like 5 or 10 minutes. You know, when you're in it, it feels longer. But after like the 5-10 minute mark, I was fine. I was like sitting there enjoying it. Then I started munching all over this food. Everything tasted great and wonderful. But if y'all want to see a smoking marijuana live part two in the future, I'll do it just so y'all can watch me destruct myself. So, and I'll keep this for the special event. I don't care if it'll dry it up or not. It'll still give me something off of it. So, but yeah, right, Bree. I wonder why people enjoy that. What I don't get is how do potheads, this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. How do potheads enjoy that type of high? Like, you would think they would, I mean, it can't just be me that does that. I'm sure there's, because I've read online, like on Reddit and YouTube comments on like weed videos, and you got people on there saying, yeah, I've been doing it for years, but I just started getting very paranoid with weed. But why the hell are you still doing it? So I'm saying, I don't get that. Like, so you take weed just because, and you start getting like paranoid? I don't get it. Like, I just did it for an experiment. It's not because I'm going to like stay stuck on it or turn it into a habit. It was a experiment for me to see how I would react after 19 years of doing it. But I will say, the first time I had ever did it 19 years ago, I got horribly paranoid and terrified. This one was nothing like the first trip I was on. Nothing. Like, this one felt like a walk in the park. So I guess my adult brain, because at that time I was 15 when I took that first hit of weed, my adult brain processes it way better. So, do you remember that part in Medea, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, when Uncle Joe is smoking weed on the porch with Mildred, right? And Mildred smoking the weed with Uncle Joe, and she goes, "It's a rabbit." Like, and remember, like she said, "Don't come back over here no more, Mildred. Don't come back over here no more." And then Joe started to freak out. He goes, "Oh," and like that's really what weed does to you. You'll be sitting there normal, and all of a sudden, you start thinking that you're about to die, that everybody is after you, that you need to call the police. Like you, for some reason, it put you into fight or flight syndrome, and I don't understand why people would want to be in that. I don't like it. So, but I will do it another time, just for like entertainment's sake. But the thing is, I'm not taking more. I took like 6 puffs last time. I'm only going to take 2 puffs maximum, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to wait for it to kick in, and that's that. So, but yeah, that part in what is it? Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That is so funny. But it makes you do that for real. Yeah, I don't see rabbits, but literally you'll be sitting there normal. Notice how in the movies she's sitting there normal, and Joe's sitting there normal. They're smoking on it, and then it creeps up on you, and you think that everything's wrong. Like all of a sudden, everything's wrong. I don't know how I got sick. Either from the I went to the gym, and then I got this. Actually, the gym was the same night as the when I went and got the weed stick. So it had to have happened between those two locations. That's what I hate, Simone, is when you get too high and you go, I wish I can go back to my normal self. I promise God I'll never smoke this again. I want to go back to my normal self. I promise you I won't smoke this again. God, please take me back. In my head, I'm going, please, I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be in this mindset no more. I want to go back to where I was normal and my heart was functioning and I wasn't on death's doorway. Like literally, you start thinking like crazy. But I got like, uh, but then again, you just said, well, where'd you get this? Where'd you get the flu from? Maybe there's something wrong with me and I need to go get a checkup. This could be my sign to go get it checked up. It could be something's wrong with me and I need to get it fixed before I end up croaking out. And I told myself earlier when I was at the like peak of my like flu, right? When I was at the peak, I said, you know what? I'm ready to go. If it's time for me to go, I'm ready to go. Because I always think the worst case scenario when I get sick, I'm like, okay, is it time for me to go? I literally said this to myself. I know this sounds very grim, but I'm like, you know what? If it's time for me to like clock out, I'm ready. And that's how dramatic I was earlier, right? That's how dramatic I was earlier. right? And that shit had me like. But after, like I said, after the first 5 or 10 minutes, I was fine. Like I said, I checked myself for COVID, and I am COVID negative, as you can see. You know, that's another reason why I'm always afraid surgery is going to end up coming up for me for anything, because I don't want to be put out by that anesthetic. That's my worst fear, is to be sitting there one moment. This is why I hate drugs. Like, this is why I hate, like, you'll be sitting there on normal 1 minute, and then they put that shit in your veins, and you're like, out. That just scares the shit out of me. That bothers the shit out of me. Sometimes I don't want to live life no more, and I'm not suicidal. Let me say this by saying, before you just jump to conclusions, there's times I don't want to live no more. Like, I'm tired of being stressed about everything, and I don't have much to stress about, but I find that I just find stuff to stress about, and I often go. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Maybe the day I die, I can finally get some peace of mind, because as a human, we don't get pieces of mind. We always have to worry about bills and running errands and taking care of your mother or your father or your kids. There's always something you got to do, right? And sometimes I just go, and even though I don't have that much responsibility, I just go, wouldn't it be great? What I do wish life had, and I'm not suicidal. Let me put that out there for the record. I'm too chicken shit to commit suicide. If I'm scared to smoke a weed stick, believe me, I'm scared to do suicide. I was about to make a point. You know what? Oh, no, that's what I was going to say. You know what I wish life had was a pause button, where every now and then you could just press pause, and you could just go on suspend, or you can suspend animation for a little bit, kind of recharge, take a break. You know, no mental activity, no nothing. I just wish that life had a pause button. What I wouldn't give for something like that. Um, I'm sick. And I often think when they start getting sick of life, it's the soul wanting to go back home. I believe that. I don't mean to get all grim. Just hear me out for a second. I believe people that commit suicide and stuff, and I swear to God, I'm not suicidal, so don't start thinking no, I will never commit suicide. That's not something I could ever do. I'm just making a point. And I hate to be grim, but I feel like people that commit suicide are those people that just give up on life. It's like the soul wanting to go home. Like, the soul just wants to go home. And so, oh, I have seen that. And that's what I wish life had, was a pause button. I'd be too afraid to commit suicide, because I'm afraid that I'm going to wake up and there's going to be goblins and demons. My luck is I'll think that I'm clocking out myself and going somewhere nice, right? And I wake up and it's like, get the fuck up, bitch. Come with me, bitch. You hear those flames, bitch? That's where we're taking you, bitch. And that's my luck. That would be my luck. I wouldn't get no white tunnel and seeing Jesus and Muhammad and whoever, or Buddha, who nobody. I'd be seeing something with a red tail, or a red skin, a trident, a hole in the ground, and a lake of fire. That's probably what I would see. That'd be my fucking luck. So, Could you imagine if you did clock out yourself, you unalived yourself, and you you wake up and all you see is like red and black, and actually I'd love to see a lot of red and black, not in a hell sense, but that's my favorite colors. That'd be a heaven for me, seeing a lot of red and black. But that's just me. But could you imagine, like, waking up and you hear this thing go, "Get up, bitch! I'm taking you to the lake of fire, bitch." I can't even imagine. I'll pass. Bye. See you. Have a good one. Somebody says, "My Lord, you okay tonight?" Oh, I'm fine. I always talk dark like this. This ain't nothing. Ain't a. I could never commit suicide. The reason I keep saying that, because I don't want y'all to think that that's my mindset. But I do wish sometimes life had a pause button. I do wish that. Yeah, like Dante's Inferno or something. That'd be my damn luck. My sister had called somebody up him. She called my cousin Pumpkin that stay up there. She called her. Oh god, that stuff stuck in my head. I just watched that the other day. The Boo got shot clip, where that where they asked her to give a recount of the situation she saw. She was an eyewitness, and she goes, "My sister had called somebody up him. She called my cousin Pumpkin that stay up there. She called her." I don't know. Okay, I've really gone mad. All right. My sister had called somebody up him. She called my cousin Pumpkin that stay up there. She called her. And it happened in Atlanta, right? And they asked her to recount. They asked her for her side of the event, what she saw. And literally she gets onto the interview and she goes, "My sister had called somebody up him. She called my cousin Pumpkin that stay up there. She called her." I'm actually gonna play it for y'all. When I let's see if I can get it to play. Let's see. My sister had called somebody up him. This is how they talk in my hometown, like in Atlanta, or my home state, I should say. They talk like that. Let's see. Boo got shot. There. Okay, I'm gonna play it for y'all.
In DeKalb County, there was a shooting at an apartment complex. All we know is that the name of the guy that got shot was Boo. And one of our intrepid news ferrets from News Talk 750 WSB went out to that apartment complex with the tape recorder and started asking people, what happened? What did you see? Our reporter came across this delightful young lady who had seen the whole thing. And all she needed was a microphone. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is her explanation of what happened that fateful night.
She was taking real bad news. Pictures, they got shot. I said, who? She said, Boo got shot. I said, oh my God, we just started. My sister had called somebody up here. She called my cousin Pumpkin just stay up there. She called her, and Pumpkin told her that she was on the phone with police. And she had left out, and she went down her car, she bailed out. And when she left out, when I heard gunshot again, and when I heard gunshot, and I seen someone had running the building over back that way. He ran that building, I seen that car just flew off, and then I seen a long gun, a big old gun in the car.
Okay, there's the explanation of what happened that night. Now, I fully understand that there may be some of you out there who really still don't have a clear understanding of what went down in that apartment complex. But by the way, let me tell you that Boo lived. Boo's okay. I mean, we wouldn't sit here making fun of Boo if Boo were taking a dirt nap. No, Boo's fine. But we call upon the unbelievable talents of our associate producer, Royal Marshall. We call him Royalty. He's going to give you the royal treatment with his translation of what that lady said. You see, Royal is bilingual. He speaks street, he speaks broadcast. So, for you now, Royal's translation of Boo got shot.
She was taking real bad.
It appears the young lady was trembling from nervousness.
Pictures, they got shot.
Someone has been wounded.
Who?
I inquired as to who the victim was.
She said, Boo got shot.
Boo has suffered a gunshot
Boo
wound.
got shot.
Boo has become the victim of another violent crime.
I said, oh my God.
Oh me, oh my.
We just my sister had called somebody up here.
My sibling telephoned another relative.
She called my cousin Pumpkin to stay up there.
In fact, it was my cousin Pumpkin who lives in this very same community.
She called her, and Pumpkin told her that she was on the phone with police.
Pumpkin was already on the phone with the local authorities.
And she had left out.
Chi-Chi had already departed.
She went down her car, she bailed out.
She found her vehicle and put it in reverse.
And when she left out, when I heard gunshot again.
As she was departing, a shot rang out the cold night air. Apparently, the perpetrator was sitting behind the local building.
He ran that building.
It was that building over there.
And I seen that car just flew off.
I saw the car depart with a rapid acceleration.
And then I seen a long gun.
I saw a firearm of substantial caliber.
A big old gun in it.
I mean substantial caliber.
The Boston Bessie had a big old long gun.
In fact, it was the gentleman in the backseat who had the firearm with the extended barrel.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, by the way, we have been trying for a long time to get Boo or Chi Chi or Pumpkin or any of those people.
My sister had called somebody up him.
She had left out and she
Yeah,
went.
wait, one more time. Let's see.
Apartment complex.
She bailed out and went.
This is my national anthem right here, okay?
Hateful month.
She was taking real
Real bad.
bad. Peaches, they got shot. They got shot. I said, who? She said, Boo got shot. Boo got shot. I said, oh my God. We just my sister had called somebody up here. She called my cousin. She called her and Piker told her that she was on the phone with police. And Chi, she had left out and she went down her car. She bailed out. And when she left out, when I heard gunshot,
Okay.
When I heard gunshot.
You know what's so funny about that is, okay, I'm from Georgia, DeKalb County. I've lived in DeKalb County. In fact, isn't Avondale DeKalb County? Because we lived in Avondale before. Me, my aunt, and my sister, brother, and my mother. We all lived in DeKalb County, right? In Avondale. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's DeKalb. Like, that is how people talk in that area. We lived in DeKalb. We lived in Decatur. We also lived in, what was that? Oh, North Side. So on North Side. But anyways, sorry, I'm just really random. Somebody says, Tyler, you sure you're not smoking? No, I have not been smoking. I'm more so just like feeling, I'm on the verge of like being over the flu, but still having it there. I can still tell it's there. And I'm like, should I do a live reading before everybody just like wants to go away and not watch me no more? They don't think that I'm just abandoning them. Especially my OnlyFans people. I got so much making up to do for my OnlyFans folks. Nothing a little weed can't fix. Nothing a little weed can't fix, right? Yeah, I really need to get some rest. I'm telling you, I woke up and I was just sweaty and ill, and I was like, oh my God. At first, I was kind of in denial that it was some type of flu. I was in denial. And then I was like, okay, I can no longer deny this. If I'm like sitting here sweating, clammy for no reason, it's 70 degrees inside the house. Keep that in mind. I had it set at 70. I'm like, it's not the temperature of the house. I said, something's wrong. So take a Karma water. I'm tempted to take a puff but I'm scared I'm going to get that paranoia again. I'm scared. Well, thanks for joining it, Simone. Vitamin C, I do need some of that. I do. I should have got me some vitamin C when I ordered from Amazon. If I ordered some stamps today from Amazon, you know, the Forever stamps, I should have got me some freaking vitamins. I didn't even think about vitamin C. And you know what? Forever stamps is a fucking ripoff. $20 on Amazon, right? And it came in, it's only like 20 stamps. I still think that's a fucking ripoff. But I didn't feel like going to the post office. But I needed them to send my fees off. So I agree, Indigo. I agree. I totally agree. I did not finish the joint. This is literally, keep in mind, the amount that I smoked was in that video. Once that video quit, I didn't smoke anymore after that. This was what was left. I was too scared to finish that. I was tempted, I think like yesterday, I was kind of tempted, I'll be honest. I was like, nope. Then I started feeling sick. I'm like, hell no. I hate being sick. And let me tell you, the beauty of living by yourself and not having much human contact is you don't get sick that often. Take it from me. You know how when you grow up in a big family, or if you have to go to school, I remember when I used to have to go to school, I was sick all the time from people bringing stuff to school, and I'd get sick from it, right? As an adult, and I started even when I was working, but even when I worked a 9-to-5 job, I was still getting sick because people would bring stuff to work, right? But ever since I've become self-employed and I spend all my time to myself, like I said, I don't ever get sick. The last time I had the flu was about 5 years ago. And the last time that I had a cold was like 3 years ago. And that's only because I went and saw my family. And they were all sick, and so I got the cold that they had, right? But what I've noticed is if you don't want to get sick that often, become a loner and self-employed and watch how you rarely get sick. Like I said, ever since I've been self-employed, and that's been 7 years, keep that in mind. In that 7 years, I only got sick twice. The flu that I would say about 5 years ago, five. This is before I moved to Las Vegas. I had the flu, right? And because at that time I was still around family and stuff, so I was probably getting stuff from them. But ever since I've become self-employed, all that, I haven't had any type of like sickness. So, yeah, like literally, yeah, I've only been sick twice in the 7 years that I've done Tyler's Tarot. I had, like I said, the flu about 5 years ago, and then I had a cold about a few years ago when I went to see family. And they were all sick, and of course, I caught it too. But let me tell you, if you, like I said, if you want to get away from being sick all the time, isolate yourself, get you employ yourself, find something that you can do, employ yourself. You'll never get sick. And I still think the reason I got sick from this time is because I went to the gym. It's no coincidence that okay, keep in mind I haven't been going to the gym. The one time I go, I come back with the flu. That's not a coincidence. And what's so strange was I went to the gym around 8 or 9 p.m., right? And I get there, and there was a bunch of people there. I'm like, what are all these people doing here this late? Usually it's kind of like, kind of laid back at that time of night. No, everybody and their mama was there, right? And so I get home, and shortly after that, after the weed video, I started feeling sick. So I said, that's not a coincidence. Because I'm telling you, like, I don't ever get sick. The one time I finally go back to the gym, I don't ever go to the gym no more. I was like, I got to get back into the cardio. That way I can speed up my weight loss, right? So I decided to go. I come back, and I would say the next day, early morning, I started feeling sick. I said, I said, where the hell did you go to get the damn flu? I just knew it was the flu or some type of stomach something. It's stomach flu, whatever. It's because of the gym. I hate getting sick too. I hate that feeling. I don't like it. And that's why I'm glad that I'm self-employed. I ain't got to be around a whole bunch of bitches. See what I'm saying? I did, Evie. I did. That's the only place I went where I was around a bunch of people. It was the gym. It's no coincidence that I go to the gym that one time and all of a sudden I'm sick. And I ain't been to the gym in a while. And I come back home and I'm sick all of a sudden. And everybody and their mama was there. I'm like, what the fuck is these people doing here? It was like 8 or 9. Usually around 8 or 9 at the gym, 8 or 9 p.m. It's pretty dead, right? Or at least mine. But I went there and it was a bunch of people. I'm like, damn. And I remember being mad. I'm like, shit, I ain't gonna be able to focus because all these people around me and I'll get all social, anxious and stuff like that. And lo and behold, I walked away and started having body aches. Right, Sylvia? Oh, I shouldn't be having these because I'm on my fast right now. I only have them during my eating hours, right? S'moreos, they are so good. I shouldn't be having those at all. It's probably going to halt my weight loss. I don't care. That 10, 11 pounds is like a monkey off my back anyways. So I have a feeling if I keep this up next 2 months, I can finally get back on roller coasters. Oh, yeah, they're really good. S'moreos. I'm tempted to take one of my hydroxyzines. Are they expired yet? Let's see. I don't take them that often. Let me see. I'm tempted to take ones I can calm my ass down. My nerves are bad because of that damn HOA. Getting any type of letter from them sucks. I swear I'm about to just move out and just go live in a field somewhere with the cows and the pigs. Me and the cows and the pigs, we're gonna be out there, three big bitches out there just out in the middle of nowhere. Me, a pig, and the cow. And there won't be no humans around. I'm telling you, I'm just gonna move out in the middle of nowhere. I'm tired of damn HOAs and shit like that. I'm about to just go live out there, motherfucking, wild man style. So, when do these expire? Let's see. Okay, there's expires. Okay, let's see. Oh, discard by May 27, 2023. If I want to start taking these, I better start taking them. I got a ton left. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm ready to just move out there with the cows and the pigs. I'll be out there with them hoes. We'll all be sitting out there. We'll all eat, we'll all just sit out there and eat. All right, we'll live out there on the farm. No humans in sight. I swear if I do get me like a place out in the middle of nowhere, I'm buying me some farm animals. I always wanted them bitches. Like I would love to go out and be able to feed the pigs and feed the horses and feed the cows. I would love that. Even though I'm terrified of horses, like I wouldn't want them motherfuckers around me. But I would love to have some to go and like brush and go out there and feed. I'd love that. I'd love that. If I can find me a decent like property one day, I'm gonna put that on my bucket list to have farm animals. Even though I'm terrified of horses, I do not like them. I don't trust them bitches. I don't trust them. But I would love to have some to go look at. I'd probably pay somebody I would pay somebody to take care of them. And I just want to just admire them. Because I'm terrified. Ain't no way you'd have me out there by myself with no horse. Ain't no way. That's the black in me. You know how black folks, they don't. Like the white part of me loves the thing that goes bump in the night. For example, there's parts of me that are black and there's parts of me that are white. Like the white part, the white in me always loves the thing that goes bump in the night. Like I love the thing where you're sitting there like alone at night and something goes. I love that and I want to go investigate it. Like what was that? I got to go see what it is, right? But the black guy in me, sometimes when I get around water, I don't like it. I don't like it. What the fuck's in that? You know how white folks, they'll go in water that's clear, see-through. They'll go in brown water, dark water. They love water, right? But the black guy in me goes, no, you ain't getting that. You ain't getting that shit. What if there's a shark or like an eel, something like that, right? And like I noticed that when it comes to like certain types of animals, like white folks, they love horses and stuff like that, right? But yeah, what point am I trying to make? Who gives a shit, right? When do you ever see black folks with horses? Never. Never. I'm terrified of horses too. But I have thought, one day, would you like to move out to a farm and have farm animals? I would. I would like that. But would I necessarily want to go ride my horses? No. But would I like to have them on the farm and like have that to go look at every now and then? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't trust them bitches. I'm sorry. Them big hooves, I don't trust them. And my luck is I'd get the most bastard-like horse. My horse would be a bitch. Because I wouldn't be so lucky to get one that acts like Pegasus or acts like, a cool horse. I'd get the most ratchet one that acts like it don't like nobody. I know I would. And if it could talk, it probably called me all kinds of bitches. I know it would. So, so, right? I'd get the most wildest one. I'm almost over my flu, y'all. I can feel me getting back to normal. And I will be live, I promise you. Really, Evie Dove. Well, congrats on the pets. I wish I had a pet sometimes, but there's times I go, no, I don't wish that. Because anytime I go on my road trips or my travels, I go, thank God I didn't get a pet. Because what would I have done with the pet? What, leave it in a boarding thing? And I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, I'm getting healthy. This is about the only thing I can do right now is do a video like this. I wouldn't even try to muster up the energy to do a live. As much as those drain me, I wouldn't even try. I have thought. Well, I did try my mother. Her biggest dream was to one day own a what do you call it? A sun conure, right? And so we went to the thing, and so I was going to buy a snake, and she says, "Look at this bird." And so the bird got on my finger, and she said, "You should get him. You should get him." And I knew she always wanted one, right? One second. So literally we take Mango home, and I was like, I cannot have a bird. She said, I'll take him. I'll take him. Right? And so that was her dream. We used to go before we could afford a sun conure. We used to go because at one point I was going to keep Mango. You was right. I did give Mango away. At one point I was going to keep him, but I was like, I don't know. I said, Mom, I don't know if I can have that. She said, I'll take him. I'll take him. And she happily took him because that was her dream to own a sun conure. Then I had this woman in my comments one time. She says, I can't believe you just gave him away like that. Mama wanted the fucking bird. You picked him out. I didn't go for a bird. I went for a snake. That's what I was going for. And so I got to the pet store going, I don't know if I want anything. You know how I do, right? And so I bought Mango on a freaking whim. I don't know what I was thinking. And lo and behold, and to this day, she actually, this was just literally like 2 days ago. She said, Todd, I want to thank you. She said, that's the best thing you ever got me was, I said, what? She goes, Mango. She said, I love him. She says, I don't know what I would do without him. And sometimes I'll aggravate her. I go, you know what? I want my bird back. And she goes, you ain't getting him back. Shit you not. I'll call. Like I joke with her sometime. I go, I want my bird back. I'm getting him back soon. She goes, you ain't getting my bird. Nope. So did I give Mango away? Yes, I did. But you have to keep in mind, that's something she's always wanted. I don't even know why I bought him, to be honest with you. Honestly, if Mama wasn't there, do you think I'd have bought Mango? Hell no. She said, you should get him. He'd be a great bird for you, right? And I was like, you know what? We'll get him. I just wanted to give it a try, see if I'd like the parrot, right? First day, I knew I didn't want him after that. When I got him home, I'm like, he started nibbling on my ear, and he started like getting too clingy. I guess I'm afraid of commitment. Started getting too clingy, right? And I said, Mom, I don't know if I can have this bird. I said, I don't know. She said, I'll take him. And it was all a plan by her to get a free sun conure. Because you have to keep in mind, back in the day, when me and her, when I was broke, we used to go to the PetSmart in Kennesaw, Georgia. And she would go every week. We go sometimes twice a week. And we would go to the sun conure enclosure, right? And she would hold these sun conures. And she goes, one day I want one of these. She says, and I remember telling her, I said, Mama, one day I'm going to buy you one of those. I said, if I ever get any money, ask her, she could tell you. I said, if I ever get any money, as much as you love these birds. And she would fall in love with these birds. And some of them wouldn't even up for sale. We didn't have the money. But some of them were already reserved, waiting to be picked up. No kidding. And I told her, I said, one day I said, if I start making money, I'm going to buy you a sun conure. And it all came full circle. Even though, like I said, I didn't go in there to buy her one. Like, it wasn't even on my mind then, but I just ended up buying Mango on a whim. That's my Aries in me, impulsive. I don't know why I bought, because I swear to you, if Mama wasn't there, I wouldn't have nothing to do with that. Because birds are not my forte. They're just not. But she happily stepped up, because I have a feeling if I had to catch Mango, I would have been miserable. He's mean. He don't like me. He bites me. He tells me to go to bed. One time I called him and he says, go to bed. Go to bed. Now he talks. He says, I love you. He don't say that to me, but he tells me to go to bed. Like there's times when I call and I'll hear him on the FaceTime. He'll go to bed. Like that's literally what he talks now. So being around Mama, he talks. But yeah, I felt like in a weird way, whenever I see Mango now, he's really fucking hateful to me, right? And I often think, does he have resentment because he used to be so nice to me before I gave him away, right? And there was this woman that really, I think some of my subscribers really thought that I put a bird off on my mama that she didn't want. No. I have a feeling she knew that I wouldn't want that fucking thing. I bought it on a whim. I said, you know what, let's try a bird. Let's try a bird. And lo and behold, I just knew at the first few hours with him, I said, this is not for me. Hell no. Loud, hell no. And so she happily took him. And to this day, she goes, that's the best present you ever got me was Mango. So, because if Mama was there, Mango would have never even been thought of. So, right? She knew I would give it to her. She knew. And my thing is, Mango was $900. He was $900, and I'll be honest with you, I bought him on a whim. I don't know what. That's why I don't. That's why I always think before I even go into buying a pet. I always go, is that what you want? Because the next one I want, I went. Ask Mama. I went for a snake. I didn't go for a bird. She'll tell you herself. I said, I'm going to go. She said, what are you going for? I said, let's go to a pet store. I said, I want to see what kind of snakes they have. Because that's the one that I want. Like, that's the type of, animal I want, right? Ooh, my ear pop. 1 second. Ooh. Oh, I hate the way I feel. That's what I was going to go get. And so we got up to the bird enclosure, and Mango started acting all lovey-dovey and getting on me and all this stuff. And I said, you know what, I'll try this. And I knew first 3 hours of having him, I said, Mom, I don't know if I can take this bird. She said, I'll take him. I'll take him. And so the rest is history. And to this day, do you know the dentist that I go to is right next door? We got Mango. That's how weird it is. Every time I go to my dentist, which is very frequently, right? I have to see, I have a constant reminder of that's where I got Mango. They're in the same shopping center as where I got Mango. The same PetSmart. Oh, she was already there. She was there. She was there in Vegas at the time that I picked Mango out. Yeah, she said, I'll take him. And I had this really hateful woman get in the comments and go, how dare you buy that and then give the responsibility to your mother? That's so irresponsible. I said, and I remember, I think I responded to the old dumbass bitch. I said, first of all, she was elated to take the bird, and that's what she wanted was the bird. You don't know the history of me and my mother. You don't know. You wasn't there when we used to go to the pet store when we was penniless. You went in there. We went twice a week, and we'd go to the Sun Conure enclosure, and she would wish that she'd have one of these. That was like, and she'd be upset we didn't have the money for one. We didn't have enough money to afford one, and she finally got it. And I remember telling her at the time, this was circa 2014, 2015. I remember telling her, I said, when I make money, I am buying you a Sun Conure, and it came full circle. Right? Why you so invested in my life? Right? Exactly. So you went in there when she would be near tears, visiting the pet land and knowing she can't afford one of these $1,000 ass birds. So Mango with tax. Oh, and the cage, because the cage I bought there that day, he was $1,200. No, take that back. About $1,300 for the Sun Conure was $900. The cage was like $300, something like that. And so my mama, I buy her all the nicest things. She has the brand new washer and dryer, thanks to me. I bought her a brand new couch. I bought everything in her apartment, pretty much. So don't think I don't do stuff for my mother. I do. So I paid her credit cards off once. All of them, not just one or two. I paid off all her credit cards once. And she, to this day, she says, Mango's the best thing you ever got me. And I'm thinking, thank God he is, because he wouldn't have stayed. I have a feeling if I had kept him, he would have ended up in an aviary somewhere. I'd have to donate him to the bird exhibit or something. Take him. I can't have that. Nope, can't have it. That's why to this day I'm very cautious of any pets that I get, because I do not want my potential dog or cat or anything like that to end up in a damn shelter, because I can't do it. That's why I don't make that decision. So I'm saying, yeah, Mango would have been out there on the strip. Literally, he would have ended up like Paulie. Literally, he would have probably flew off and then trying to go around trying to find me or something, not realizing I don't want nothing to do with his ass no more. He would have ended up like Paulie. If you ever seen the movie Paulie, that Conure in that movie, he would have been out there doing little tricks for money. Not those type of tricks, but if you ever watched the movie, you'll know the reference I'm talking about. He would have been out there like Paulie. Do you have a phone book? Do you know what Tyler? Remember how Paulie was looking for Marie the whole movie? That's what Mango would have did. Only difference between me and Marie actually wanted Paulie back. I wouldn't have wanted him back. Bitch, you better not try to find me. You're going to end up with a dial tone. Dun, 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 dun. You're going to get hung the fuck up on. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, do you have a phone book? You ever seen that movie? That makes me want to watch Paulie. So, that makes me want to watch Paulie. I love that part of the movie when he goes, excuse me, do you have a phone book? Marie! If you ever had a dog, what would you call? I don't know what I would name my dog. Thank God I had Mama. Thank God Mama was there to save the day. She took that bird in an instant. Right. I'll take him. No hesitation. I kind of feel guilty at times, like maybe he thinks that I just totally gave up on him, but I don't give a damn. I don't give a shit. I do not have vitamin C here. I do not. Uh, that's why you don't see me have pets. People always tell me all the time in the comments, "You should get you a pet. You should get you a pet." I mean, I get that comment so many damn times. I mean, it's beyond. I can't even count at this point. Like I'm very cautious now. I think Mango was a very big lesson for me. Like think before you buy. So but that made me feel horrible. And I even asked my mom, "So you don't feel like I put him?" She said, "No, I don't feel like you put him all on me." She said, "I wanted him." So I used to feel guilty about that. So I don't give a shit. That's what I'm saying. But he was so nice at the pet store. Let me tell you, this bitch was nice. And then me and mama joked to this day. I said, he really worked a con on us. He acted nice at the store. We get him home, he starts being a bitch. Like, I don't understand it. In the store, he was nice. He walked up on us, was all, right? We get him home about after a week or so, he turned into the devil. I said, Mama, I don't know if I'm able to take, I don't know if I'm able to keep this bird. She goes, I'll take him. I'll take him. So, enough about that little bastard. To this day, I still call him. And my nickname for him is Mangisha. Because when he acts snappy, because whenever he hears my voice, he starts beating at his cage and going like that. And I go, Mangisha. But then when he's nice, I call him Mango. But he has this alter ego that I call Mangisha. Mangisha is evil and nasty and a bitch, whereas Mango's more laid back and like a lot more cooler, right? And I love Mango. I just don't like Mangisha. To this day, I'll call and say, "Let me speak to Mangisha." That's what I call. That's what I call. I still call, like literally, I'll call Mama. I go, "Let me speak to Mangisha," and then Mama will go, "Mangisha, your brother wants to talk to you." Literally, she called. Literally, she said, "Mangisha, your brother wants to talk to you." So, yeah. So she calls Mango my brother. So let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that's why I call him Mangisha. But Mango when he's nice. But Mangisha is like this, like alter ego that like he'll be. That's what kills me about birds in general. I see this on social media a lot, especially on Instagram. People that own these parrots, they'll be normal 1 minute, and then you hit them in the wrong. Not hit them literally, but like if you like pet them in the wrong spot, they'll just snap and start biting you. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with them? Like something in the bird brain. It's like I don't know if they have short-term memory or something. Like you'll be sitting there petting, and I've dealt with many birds throughout my life. Right, we've always had birds in the family. And 1 minute they'll be nice, and you'll be petting them, and then all of a sudden they'll go like that, and then they'll stop and let you pet them again. I'm like, I think they got short-term memory or something. Like they just have little memory lapses or something like that. I don't know. So, and the reason I can't do dogs is that I can't stand the way a dog smells after it gets wet or sweaty. That sweaty freaking coat. Well, Bernice, I'm not being sexual with the bird. What are you talking about? Yes, because certain touches feel sexual. I'm not touching the bird in its private. I don't even know where the bird's private areas is. I'm talking about just simply petting the bird on its head and on its back causes a reaction. I'm like, where the hell did you, like, where did you, I was just petting you on your head, and the next thing you know, you're biting my finger. I don't even know where the damn, I don't even know where the genitalia on a bird is, the male or the female bird. I wouldn't know, and I don't want to fucking know. I did, Jeannie, and that taught me I didn't want a dog. So, I think birds have short-term memory, in my personal opinion. Like Dory from Finding Nemo, I think they remember. Like they'll be in a moment 1 minute, and then they'll have a like lapse of memory, and then they'll just like snap because they then they come back to normal. Like I think they have the Dory syndrome, in my personal opinion. Google it real quick if you have an extra phone. Luna. You know those birds give me the creeps, them damn macaw birds. Those give me, why would you pay $3,000 for a big ass pterodactyl like that? Ain't no way I'm gonna have a pterodactyl in my house. Like I see that on Instagram too and on YouTube. People that own them big ass macaw birds, like the red and blue macaw or the red macaw or the, ain't no way I'd pay money to have a pterodactyl in my house. Them big ass beaks. Okay, if Mango's bite hurts, imagine the bite off that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. That prehistoric looking motherfucker in my I wouldn't pay that money for that new. Those give me the creeps. Big, oversized, prehistoric looking motherfuckers. Birds in general. I used to like birds, but now I'm like really iffy of them, you know? Like, you know, ain't no way. I do not like those birds. I'm sorry. They're smart. They're great. If I had to choose a bird, a parrot to have, it'd be a, what would it, I would go with a African gray. Like if I had, let's just say for example, I had to choose a bird, like I had to, you know, African gray. I'd go with African gray. That's the one I would probably get if I ever got close to getting a parrot again. It'd be an African gray. So, 'cause I love the red tail and the gray feathers. So, yeah, I don't do cockatoos either. Those things are fucking wacky. Have you seen the way that cockatoos act? Not cockatiels, cockatoos. Those bitches are crazier than a shithouse rat. Like I've seen some on YouTube where they go. I'm like, what would somebody want something like that? They act like they're having a conniption fit 24/7. I don't get it. Oh really, Mama Crypto? Or I've seen them like act crazy. You ain't gonna have that bipolar ass thing in my house. No, ain't gonna happen. Now cockatiels, I used to have a cockatiel. Her name was Halo, and she was great. She flew away, but she was great. Like that's the only positive. I think that's the only positive experience I had with a bird. Is that the only one? Yeah, Halo, the cockatiel. You know, yeah, birds are beautiful, but they're not my taste. What I like about reptiles is they're like very laid back, typically very laid back, and I like reptile. I like the way reptiles feel. I can't explain it unless you've held reptiles like an iguana. I love that the way their skin feels. Like it feels like gritty and sandpaperish. I love that. I don't know why I love it, but y'all seen a picture of my iguana, right? I put pictures of it on YouTube, right? And I love the way that reptiles feel. That gritty. I can't even explain it. It's like a gritty, sandpapery. I love the way it feels, right? And so when I was at my Texas meetup and she let me hold Pattern, the snake, the corn snake, it just reminded me of like I love the way I love the way they feel. Reptiles, frogs. I like frogs, but a lot of people have fears of those. I like frogs. I like them. I like how I don't know. I just love frogs. Them bitches is crazy, but I like them. Bernicia, stop getting up in here trolling. Talking about like those snakes you like. Oh, I thought you was like being like trolling. What do you talk? Because you was writing some crazy stuff ahead, talking about touching bird genitalia and stuff like. Bernicia, I don't know if you're a troll or somebody that's I don't know. I don't fucking know. Okay, Lord, you see Tyler more than my friend. Oh, you see me more than your friends. Wow, really? The tiny frog impersonation? You mean that frog that makes that noise that ee? I've seen on YouTube. I think it's called a Pac-Man frog. And if you touch it in the wrong area, like really, if you touch it, it literally like I've seen people on YouTube have it, and if you like touch it, it emits this like sound, and it literally sounds. It goes ee. Now I have to admit, if I had a frog like that, I'd be freaked out. Like, what the fuck got into you? Like it's got possessed by some Captain Howdy type shit. You gonna fuck around and come up missing, frog, if you something like that around me. Hell no. You gonna fuck around and end up back in the pond? No. Literally, look it up. It's like this frog that does that. I don't know what type of frog. I think it's a Pac-Man. No, it's some type of frog, and I've seen it on YouTube. And the person just barely touched it on the back, and it went hee, literally like that. I'm like, hell no. The frogs that I like from Georgia, those don't make noises. Is that? Well, yeah, they do actually. Like ribbit, like like you hear that, but not no squealing and screaming. Like you gonna fuck around and come up missing doing that around me. I'm gonna literally put you back in the pond. Bye. And I don't see a lot of frogs on my property. There's not many places for them. I don't see turtles anymore. I do miss that about Georgia. There's certain things I miss. I miss seeing wild frogs. I miss seeing wild turtles. You don't see that here in Vegas. And I miss that. I miss the frogs. I miss the turtles. I missed all that. Even really? I do miss certain parts of Georgia. Like I miss the rain. I miss the rain a lot. When it rains in Vegas, it's very rare. When it does rain, it still don't feel like an East Coast rain, I'm starting to feel better. I'm feeling less sick. I feel like I could do a live right now, but I don't want to. I'm too tired. I'm starting to feel good. Maybe I needed to talk to y'all to feel better. You cried over a rat killed by a car 1 week. Oh, really? Snapping turtles are the only turtles I don't really like. Those things are creepy. Like, I'm thinking, what in the monstrosity is that? It's like, what the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, my favorite, the turtles I like are the ones that are like, like a regular turtle. No, actually, my favorite type is tortoise. And it just irks me when people mistake tortoises for turtles. Karen, why are you calling a tortoise a turtle? Does a tortoise live in water? Tyler's the same thing. No, Tyler not the same thing. Don't Tyler me. It's not the same thing. Tortoise lives on land. Turtle lives in the water. Tortoise have club feet for the land. Turtles have the flipper feet, like the little flipper feet. You'll never see a tortoise live in the water. And that just drives me crazy when these Darians and like people like I'll never forget one time being at what was it? Busch Gardens, Tampa, right? So we was at the tortoise exhibit, right? And I had just seen the sloths, and we walked out where these giant tortoises lived at Busch Gardens in Tampa, right? And I hear these people go, "Oh, look at the turtle! Look at the turtle! Look how cute!" And this is me just being a literal Larry. I get it. That is not a fucking turtle. That's a tortoise. Turtles live in water, you fucking idiot. All right, turtles live in water. Tortoise lives on the land. Get that through your thick fucking skull. Like that just irked me. I don't know why that irked me so much. Literally, I was walking by the tortoise exhibit at Busch Gardens, Tampa, and people were saying, "Oh, look at the turtles! Look at that big turtle." That's not a fucking turtle. So please, people, realize the differences between a turtle and a tortoise. They're two different type of things. All right. You know where I think my obsession with turtles come from? The Ninja Turtle movie. I think that's where it came from. Like, cause I remember being obsessed with the Ninja Turtle movie, right? With like the original one, right? And I think that's where my obsession with turtles came from, is Ninja Turtles. Yes, there's tortoises. There was one tortoise that was documented that lived like 300 years. Could you imagine that? Alexa, what's the oldest tortoise that lived?
From Mom.com, the oldest known tortoise on record, at Whydah, lived to be 255 years old.
255 years old. Could you imagine living that damn long? How miserable that must be. 255 years old. That's why I've thought about getting a tortoise. I'm like, well, who am I gonna pass the bitch down to? Like when I die, it's gonna outlive me. There was this news article years ago. I can't remember where I saw it from. But okay, so this kid's parents bought him a tortoise, right? Like when he was like a kid. So the tortoise goes missing. I gotta find this article, and that's gonna drive me crazy. Tortoise goes missing. Years go by. The kid grows up to be in his teens or adult years, and one day they finally find the tortoise after all that time. Kind of find out he had been living up in the attic or something, or what was it? It was either crawl space or an attic, and he had been coming out. And literally, they had never seen him in that. How the fuck do you not see? Swear to God, I gotta find this. You can look it up. Literally, he had disappeared when the kid was like a kid, right? And then years go by, they don't find the tortoise. They think he's missing, all that, right? The kid becomes a teen, adult. I forgot the exact time frame, and they find him. And it turned to kind of find out he had been in the house that whole entire time, but he had his own little crawl space, right? So he was not dead like they thought or missing. He was there the whole entire time. And then I think it explained how he got water or something like that. I don't know how. I still don't know how the fuck did he survive all that. It's beyond me. Where'd you get food from? But yeah, it was a news article. I had seen it. He had went missing all them years. I gotta find that article. If I find it, I'll link it in the description. All that time he was in the house the whole entire time. They didn't know. If I'm not mistaken, there was a twist to the story. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta look it up. Where, if I'm not mistaken, I think that they had moved out and the new people had moved in, and they reported that a tortoise was in the house or something like that. I gotta figure it out. That's gonna drive me crazy now. Yeah, he had been in the house. I don't know what the hell but they gave an explanation as to what he was eating or drinking. I think he had a water source or something. He was like eating and drinking off of something. I don't know what it was. But I'm like, how the hell do you not know your tortoise is missing in your house the whole entire time? And he was in some type of crawl space the whole entire time, and they didn't know. That is, you know what that tells you? That's the resilience of a tortoise. Those things have longevity like a motherfucker. So let me see if I can find that article. 1 second. Be right back. Don't go nowhere. Go and look it up. That way y'all know I'm not tripping. It's a missing turtle found 30 years later in attic. It's on, 1 second. Missing pet tortoise found 30 years later in attic. Yep, go look it up. I knew I wasn't crazy. I'm like, am I having a Mandela effect? Did I really read something like that? Sure did. Yeah, found 30 years later in the attic. Yeah, I think Manuela, that's it. Yes. All right, y'all. Well, I might get off of here. I ain't got nothing else to talk about. At this point, I'm just ranting about random stuff and whatever comes to my mind, and that just gets, when you have a video like that, it has no foundation. Like it just goes from one extreme to the next. No point. So what I'm gonna do is, y'all, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. All right. Bye, y'all. I'll talk to you later. But look up that article. That's pretty interesting. They have that type of resilience. Bye, y'all. Thanks for the well wishes. I appreciate y'all.